I truly respect individuals who have turned their weaknesses into powerful sources of strength. Let's dive into this story. Have you ever wondered if a small act of kindness can change everything? For years, the monk, named Bodhi, searched for something: truth, peace, a purpose. He had studied in temples, meditated in the quietest of caves, and chanted countless mantras, but something was missing. Enlightenment, he thought. Where is it? Then, one evening, as the last light of day dipped below the horizon, he sat by a tranquil river, the soft murmur of the water brushing his ears. He closed his eyes, letting the breeze cool his face. It was then that he remembered the words of his old teacher. True enlightenment comes not from great achievements, but from small acts of kindness. It is through compassion that the soul finds its peace. It hit him like a flash of lightning in the night sky. Could it really be that simple? Could the path to enlightenment lie in the smallest of gestures? Bodhi was determined to find out. He made a vow to perform 10,000 small acts of kindness, one for each step on his journey. It didn't have to be grand, just small acts, helping those in need, offering kindness where it was most needed. Little did he know, these small acts would change not just the lives of others, but his own as well. The very next day, as Bodhi walked through a bustling village, his attention was drawn to an elderly traveler sitting by the side of the road. His clothes were ragged, his face gaunt with hunger. The traveler's eyes were empty, and his stomach growled loudly. Bodhi didn't hesitate. He reached into his bag and pulled out a piece of bread. Bread was warm and fresh, its crust golden brown. He handed it to the man, who looked up in surprise. "Why are you helping me?" the man asked, his voice weak. Bodhi smiled softly. "Because kindness is the true food for the soul." The man's eyes filled with tears, and he devoured the bread with trembling hands. Bodhi sat beside him, silent, just sharing the moment. A small act, a simple gesture. Yet as the man finished, his face seemed to glow, his spirit lifted. And Bodhi felt a small warmth in his chest, a sense of peace that grew with every act. Days passed, and Bodhi continued his journey. One evening, as the sun dipped below the horizon, he passed through a small village. The air was thick with the smell of evening smoke from cooking fires, and the sound of children playing echoed in the distance. Suddenly, a faint cry reached his ears. He followed the sound to find a young girl, no older than 5, sitting alone on the steps of a house. Her small face was streaked with tears, and her clothes were torn. Bodhi knelt beside her. "Why are you crying, little one?" "I'm lost," she said, her voice trembling. "I can't find my way home." Bodhi offered his hand with a soft smile. "I will help you." He stood up, guiding the girl through the village, each step bringing them closer to her home. As they walked, Bodhi noticed the cool touch of her hand in his, and the quiet joy in her eyes as she realized she was safe. The village around them buzzed with life, but in this moment, it was just the two of them, walking together, a simple act of kindness unfolding. When they reached her house, her mother rushed out in relief. She hugged her daughter tightly and then turned to Bodhi, eyes filled with gratitude. "Thank you," she whispered. Bodhi nodded silently. He had found something that day, peace, not from seeking it, but from offering it. The small act had led him to something far greater than he had imagined. Months turned into years, and Bodhi continued his journey. His acts of kindness were countless, helping an old man cross a river, sharing his last drop of water with a thirsty traveler, comforting a grieving mother. With each act, Bodhi felt something shift inside him. His heart grew lighter, his mind clearer, and a deep sense of calm settled within him. One evening, as Bodhi sat beneath the stars, he realized something profound. He had been searching for enlightenment in grand gestures, in moments of profound wisdom or spiritual insight. It was the simple, everyday acts of kindness that had brought him closer to the truth. Enlightenment, he thought, is not a distant goal, but a way of living each day with compassion. As Bodhi reflected on his journey, he knew now that the 10,000 small acts of kindness had been the true path. They had led him to peace, to understanding, to a place of profound connection with the world. Every gesture had been like a small light in the darkness, leading him step by step toward true enlightenment. Here are 4 key takeaways from the journey of Bodhi and his small acts of kindness. First lesson: small acts of kindness can lead to big change. Sometimes we think we need to do big things to make an impact. But in reality, the smallest gestures often lead to the most profound transformations, not only in others, within ourselves. Second lesson: recognizing the power of compassion. When we face our own internal struggles, practicing compassion can turn what seems like a weakness, our own lack of peace or certainty, into strength. Helping others is often the key to finding strength in ourselves. Third lesson: strength in simplicity. Don't overcomplicate life. Embrace simplicity and focus on what you can do right now to bring peace. You'll find that those small efforts accumulate into significant personal growth. Fourth lesson: finding peace through service. True peace often comes from stepping outside of our own needs and focusing on the needs of others. By facing our self-centered desires and turning our attention toward kindness and service, we can find the peace we've been seeking all along. Always remember, no distraction, no social media, no trend is worth more than your time. We'll continue sharing meaningful stories. Stay strong, success is just ahead.